10 hidden indicators he has a crush on you. Okay, have you ever been there? You're just trying to get through class, or you're hanging out with friends, but your brain is stuck on a loop, replaying every tiny little interaction you had with him. Your mind is racing, you're trying to connect the dots, and you're pretty sure there's a spark. You can feel it, but his signals, they are all over the place. 1 second, he's all smiles and leaning in close, and the next, he can barely look at you. It's enough to make you feel like you're going crazy. That feeling, the not knowing, the constant questioning is honestly the worst. But what if I told you that even when his words are a confusing mess, his body is telling you the whole story? There's a secret, unspoken language of attraction that most of us completely miss. Well, consider this video your official cheat sheet. We are counting down the 10 hidden indicators, the subtle, subconscious body language signs that prove he's totally crushing on you. By the end of this, you're finally going to have the clarity you've been looking for. Number 1. Subtle, accidental touches. And finally, the number 1 hidden indicator he has a crush on you is breaking the touch barrier. Touch is one of our most primal ways of communicating affection, and a guy who's into you will find small, seemingly innocent excuses to make it happen. This could be a light touch on your arm while he's making a point, a gentle tap on your shoulder to get your attention, or his hand accidentally brushing against yours as you're walking. These tiny gestures are often his subconscious trying to bridge the gap between you and establish a physical connection. If he's always finding little reasons to make contact, it's one of the surest signs he wants to be more than just friends. Number 2. The genuine Duchenne smile. Listen, not all smiles are the same. There's the polite, I have to be here smile, and then there's the real, genuine smile of pure happiness. In psychology, this is called a Duchenne smile, and it's the kind that lights up a person's entire face. It doesn't just involve the mouth, it travels all the way up to the eyes, creating those little crinkles at the corners. This is a smile he literally can't fake. It's an involuntary reaction to pure joy. If you notice he flashes you this authentic, eye-crinkling smile whenever you come around, that is a crystal clear sign that your presence genuinely makes him happy. Pay attention and see if his smile is different and bigger for you than it is for others. Number 3. He leans in. Personal space is a big deal, and we're all pretty picky about who we let into our little bubble. When a guy is crushing on you, he'll constantly look for excuses to close that physical gap. One of the clearest ways he does this is by leaning in when you talk. This does 2 things. First, it shows he's completely invested in the conversation and doesn't want to miss a thing you say. Second, it's a subtle way of testing the waters of your personal space to create a bigger sense of intimacy. If he's always finding a reason to lean into your space, it's because he's drawn to you, both emotionally and physically. Number 4. He mirrors your moves. Ever been chatting with someone and you notice that when you lean in, they lean in? Or when you grab your drink, they suddenly reach for theirs, too? This is a psychological phenomenon called mirroring, and it's one of the biggest signs of connection. When we feel a bond with someone, our brains subconsciously tell us to mimic their posture, gestures, and even their tone of voice. It's a way of saying, hey, we're on the same page. We're alike. It builds an unconscious feeling of familiarity and rapport. If you notice he's subtly copying your moves, it's not a coincidence. It's his brain telling you he feels deeply connected to you. Number 5. The head tilt. This is one of the most subtle cues, but it's so powerful. When a guy is genuinely locked in on what you're saying, he'll often tilt his head slightly to the side as you speak. You've probably seen a dog do this when it's curious, and for humans, the meaning is pretty similar. A head tilt exposes the neck, which is a vulnerable part of the body. Subconsciously, it's a signal of trust, engagement, and pure curiosity. It shows he's not just hearing you, he's hanging on every word. It's a nonverbal cue that says, I'm here, I'm listening, and you have my full attention. Number 6. A touch of nervous awkwardness. This one sounds backward, but it's a classic. If a guy who is usually confident and smooth suddenly gets a little weird around you, that's a huge clue. Attraction can trigger a rush of adrenaline, which leads to a burst of nervous energy. This might look like him fidgeting with his keys, tapping his fingers, or just seeming flustered. He might stumble over his words or tell a joke that doesn't quite land. Don't write this off as disinterest. More often than not, this nervousness is because he wants to impress you so badly that he's getting in his own head. If he only gets this way with you, it's a powerful sign he's crushing hard. Number 7. His posture is open and relaxed. When we feel defensive or uncomfortable, we literally close ourselves off. We cross our arms, fold our legs, and create a physical barrier. But when a guy is into you, he does the exact opposite. He'll likely adopt an open and relaxed posture whenever you're around. Look for uncrossed arms and legs and an overall open stance. This posture signals trust and comfort. By keeping his body language open, he's non-verbally telling you that he's open to you. He's making himself approachable because he wants you to feel comfortable coming up to him. If you're the one person who makes him physically relax, it's because you put him at ease. Number 8. The sudden grooming fix. Ever notice him suddenly fix his hair, straighten his shirt, or adjust his hoodie the second you walk by? That's not a coincidence. Body language experts call this preening, and it's a classic sign of attraction. Think of it this way. When he sees you, his attraction kicks in, which makes him a little self-conscious and triggers an instinct to look his best. He might smooth his shirt, run a hand through his hair, or even subtly check his reflection in his phone. It's a primal, unconscious move that says your opinion of him really matters. Number 9. His body points where he wants to go. This next one is super sneaky but tells you everything. Pay attention to where his body is pointing, specifically his feet and his torso. Psychologists say we subconsciously angle ourselves toward what we find most important in any given situation. So, he could be deep in a group conversation, talking to someone else entirely, but if his feet and shoulders are angled toward you, that's a massive sign that you are the real focus of his attention. It's his body's way of staying tethered to you, even when he's busy. He's basically saying, I'm talking to them, but I'm with you. It's one of the most reliable signs that he's drawn to you. Number 10. The eyebrow flash and lingering gaze. Let's start with his eyes. And no, I don't just mean basic eye contact. This is way more powerful. When we see someone we're genuinely happy to see or attracted to, our eyebrows do this quick, subconscious little lift. It's a universal signal that says, I see you, and I'm interested. If you notice him do this flash the moment he spots you, that's a huge green flag. And then there's the gaze itself. A guy with a crush doesn't just look at you, he watches you. You might catch him staring when he thinks you aren't looking, or maybe he holds your gaze for just a beat longer than normal. That prolonged eye contact can actually trigger the release of oxytocin, the love hormone, which helps build a sense of connection. If his eyes are always finding their way to you, it's because his focus is already there. So there you have it. A guy's body language is basically an open book, screaming the things he's too nervous or shy to say out loud. From the way his eyes light up to the direction his feet are pointing, these hidden cues are all pieces of the puzzle. Just remember to look for these signs in clusters, not just one on its own. Now I want to hear from you. What's the most confusing signal you've ever gotten from a crush? Drop it in the comments below, and let's all try to figure it out together. And if this video helped you out, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our tips on attraction, dating, and psychology. You can also check out this other video on the 5 things guys do when they're falling in love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now that you know how to decode his behavior, trust your gut. That spark you thought you felt, that little feeling you couldn't shake, you were probably right all along. You've got this.